So more testing sites are also coming to Arizona. That glimmer of good news coming today in the form of a press release. Oftentimes, that's how we learn about the state's plans to fight COVID. The governor doesn't address the public every day. So where is he and who is helping him make these life and death decisions? Governor Ducey saying publicly he's talking to the White House. But what about locally as pressure grows for him to do more? ABC 15's Nicole Grigg in Phoenix tonight with the questions we can't get answered.
Access to Governor Doug Ducey and Dr. Kara Christ is limited, so we rely on the public press briefings that consistently have been just once a week here in Arizona. In those, the governor chooses his words carefully, and questions to him directly are limited to the number of questions. These are the list of nearly 24 questions we sent over to the governor's office directly Tuesday morning. Most of these questions from viewers like you. With limited access to the governor, we asked the governor's staff to answer them directly.
Trust, accountability, and transparency.
Will Humble, the state's former health director, says those three things are important with the public.
And if you're consistently transparent and accountable, you can maintain your trust. But there's one really important thing about trust. It's really hard to get back once you've lost it.
Who is Governor Doug Ducey talking to daily? We know Monday he was sharing photos on Twitter on a call with the vice president. ABC 15 asking him at last week's press conference who is helping him guide his decisions, as his only enforcement action last week was to reduce dine-in capacity to 50%.
I'm listening to Dr. Christ, Dr. Deborah Birx, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and we talked through this entire plan in detail with Dr. Birx at 1:30 p.m. today.
We asked the state Senate Minority Leader for the Arizona legislature if the governor is speaking with lawmakers like him, including those on the other side of the aisle, Democrats.
We were having contact probably, once a week with staff or so, and then that kind of disappeared for a while, and then it picked up a little bit. But I have not had any direct communication with the governor since March.
The governor has made clear there is one person who he talks to often.
We've had so much outreach personally from both the president and the vice president that I had to change the ringtone on my phone. And it rings "Hail to the Chief" because I didn't want to miss another phone call directly from the White House.
At a time we need strong leadership and actions, the governor left in a tough position. He has to balance science, politics, and the economy while protecting Arizonans. But at the end of the day, Republican strategist and political consultant Nathan Sproul says,
if there's ever a time not to want to be a governor of a state or to be president of the United States, this is it. I can't imagine the heavy burden that he must feel every single day when he gets out of bed and thinks to himself, did I do the right thing yesterday? Did I do the right thing last week? What's the right thing to do next week? It's a heavy burden.
The best way to know who the governor is meeting with is what we see on his social media: school leaders, healthcare leaders, and business stakeholders. And as for those nearly 24 direct questions we sent over to the governor's office Tuesday, most of the questions answered. They're following the White House Coronavirus Task Force advice of public health. As for why no new stay-at-home order, the governor's office says they're relying on public health to responsibly implement mitigation strategies. As for when will the governor have his next public press briefing, at this time we don't have a date or a time. Reporting in Phoenix, Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.